Just a quick one before we dive in. I've just opened up 2 brand new ways to work with me. If you're an established beauty professional who's ready to increase your revenue, either in your clinic or by moving into the online mentoring and educational space, you can join me for a 2-month container where we build and validate your first online offer or your next big move. Or if you're ready to go all in, there is a 7-month private mentorship where we build, launch and scale your new revenue stream together. If you're not sure which one's right for you, I'm offering a handful of free business clarity calls, quick and powerful to map out your fastest path and to see which container fits best. Just DM me the word revenue on Instagram or check the link in the show notes and email me. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the Beauty Build podcast with me, Zara King. As a coach for beauty pros, it is my mission to help you earn more, work less, and create an unstoppable mindset. This is the show where we explore all of that. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your beauty business, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us on the journey. And for more, get yourself inside my private community, The Beauty Build on Facebook. Hello, you gorgeous human you, and welcome back to another episode of the Beauty Build podcast. I am super excited because this is actually the first episode that I'm recording since the kids have gone back to school. And I'm feeling like September reset is seriously needed because for me, my 2 eldest have gone back to school and now my youngest has just started his full-time nursery. So he's actually in a uniform. He's actually with the kids. He actually has to get up 5 days a week and go to nursery. And I only had that twice a week prior. So he used to go on what did he do? Tuesday, Wednesday. He used to go to a small nursery beforehand. Now he goes 5 days a week and I just find it honestly insane. Like I had my little cry and he had his staggered start and I honestly thought to myself, and I also put this into the membership actually. I'm just going to give you a bit of a life update before we get into the podcast episode. But basically I had my little cry. He went in and did like this staggered start. So he had a home visit, then he had an hour, which I find really bizarre. It was like an hour and 15 minutes. Then he had half a day and then he did his whole day. And I went into the membership and I was like, do you know what? That's reminded me that I need a staggered start, and you probably do too. In our businesses, in our world, the summer gets so overwhelming, especially if you've got kids like me. I've got 3 kids, maybe you've got 1, 2, however many, 4, 5. And it gets overwhelming, just like not even just being a mum, but also being everything to everyone else as well, and trying to still run a business. Maybe you still worked during summer holidays, and it's really hard if you've got like 6 to 8 weeks off and you've got children running around. And for me, I realised that I should have a staggered start just as much as him. So this is the first one I've recorded and it's like his second full day. So we went through the staggered start, and now I'm sitting down to record today because I've got some time on my hands and I feel like ready to record and I feel ready to get back into lots of work. I've done a full day today with clients as well. When normally I only do 2 full days before now. So I'm getting into like a new schedule, and that's honestly feeling like it feels good, but it also feels like a bit stretchy because there's a lot I want to do. So I just thought I'd be real and honest and a bit unfiltered with you this morning because, I know that you can be watching this whenever you want. You could be watching this in years and years, listening to this. But I just thought I'd be like really honest with you today because I feel like when you listen to a podcast, like I listen to many podcasts and I always think, they just have it so together. And sometimes, you know what, I just want to be real with you and be like, I'm resetting right now. And this is actually the only podcast I've recorded in the last 8 weeks. Everything else you listen to up to this point was all pre-recorded. Don't get me wrong, I don't ever miss a week. But yeah, I just wanted you to know that everything else was pre-recorded. I'm finally getting back into it today and it gives me that energy and I absolutely love it. So anyway, summer for me was super busy, but it was good busy. It was, spending time with the kids, going to see their granddad, going to the beach. It was going out to different days out. It was the zoo, it was London, it was here, there and everywhere. It felt like we did a hell of a lot. And at times I kind of felt like I've built up this business now where things allow me that spaciousness, and I feel really, really grateful for it, because actually reflecting on it, and I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I'm saying it out loud, it's so good to me. And I remember voice noting one of my clients the other day, and she was, talking about the fact that she needed that guidance there and then, and it all came at the right time. But basically I was saying to her, like, we get to build this, we get to have this. And summer made me really reflect on that and think, actually, I'm so grateful to have built what I've built. And it's actually, you have to give yourself some credit. If you are in a position, by the way, where you think, well, I'm not quite where I want to be yet, I'm still building myself now, I'm still growing into the identity that I want to get to, give yourself a pat on the back, please, for how far you've come. Because when you stop and think about actually the spaciousness that you do have, the things that you do have, the time off that you have, the freedom to get what you want materialistically, also spiritually, like how you've grown as a person, and the people around you, how you've curated like the life that you currently have, please give yourself a pat on the back for that and think, actually, I've done really fucking well, and I just built this. And I was saying to my client, like, we get to do this, and it's so possible, and it can be quite easeful, it can be quite joyful, it can be quite spacious. And she's not where she wants to be yet, but it made her look internally and think, do you know what, you're bloody right, you've done so much. And she said to me, when I think about it, this time 2 years ago, or I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, her life was just so different. Like she was stuck in her job. Now she has a business. Now she has a second arm to her big business. And it's insane. Like, if you back yourself, no one else has done this for her. No one else has done it for me. If you back yourself, and if you actually keep going when things do feel hard, and deeply root things into your why, you can really create a life that you love. And that is my reflection on summer, if I'm honest. I do find that it all went really fast. There were days where the kids were clinging on me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so overstimulated here. But all in all, it really showed me that I bloody love what I do, and I have really loved creating this life. And the fact that I'm so lucky to be able to sit here and say, we get to do this. Like, I get to take the kids out. I never worry about money. I never worry about, what we're doing. And me and my partner have built this. Like, we've both done it. I'm not going to sit on this podcast and say that it's just me. I'm not a single mother. Do you know what I mean? But I have what I have. He has what he has. We have what we have. Like, it is just so good. My life is so lovely, and I bloody feel blessed. I really, really, really do. And I feel so blessed to have you as well, like, listening in to this podcast, because I think there are thousands of you, and you listen to me, and I just find that completely crazy. But it's really making me reflect and think, wow, I'm super, super grateful. And it makes me anchor into why I want to do everything, really. It makes me think, I do want to sit here and lift people up. I do want to grow as a person as much as I can, but while bringing other people up with me. I do want the beauty industry and the wellness industry and service-based business owners that are particularly women, I want to lift them up. I want to show them that they can actually create things around their babies. They can hold space for different people as well. And there's enough to go around. That's the sort of vibe I feel with women as well, that I really want to lean into, because there's so much of that, like, competition out there and cattiness and everything. I really want to, like, see that more women empowering women stuff. And that is the why, that showing people what's possible, showing my kids that they can have any place in the world that they want. And yeah, anyway, I'm rambling, but it feels like, yeah, I wanted to come on, I wanted to do the reset type of thing with you, because it does shift. The energy does shift in September. We kind of feel like it's a new year, because kids go back to school if you're a mum. Even if you're not a mum, it feels like, we're heading into Q4. As soon as you get to October, you're like, whoa, it's Q4. The energy changes. We have to ramp things up, or we're told we have to ramp things up. Like, you might see it all over social media where people are like, it's Q4. What have you done so far this year in business? And where are you going to finish up? And it's so go, go, go. And that is bloody great. But like I said at the beginning, maybe you need a staggered start. So I know this is coming out like more like mid-September, towards the end of September, but maybe you do need to have a sort of reset before you push forwards. Maybe you do have to sit down and think, what are my actual goals? And we're going to get into that in a minute. So what I don't want for you is for you to wake up in December and just panic and be like, it's really busy in my business and all I can do now is just work, which is another thing that another client said to me the other day, was she really didn't enjoy December even last year, I think it was. I really didn't enjoy December. All I did was work. That is not happening this year. And we were talking about that inside the membership, because at the moment in September in the membership, we're going through the reset challenge, just like this. It's called Elevate, and it's all about the reset and prepping for Christmas in business, because it's the busiest time of year for service-based businesses, generally speaking, especially in the beauty industry. So I want people to A, avoid that, but B, enjoy their time themselves, because yes, Q4 is massive. Like September, October, November, really, really busy months, and then December can go crazy. And so it can be massive, but also you want to enjoy that month, particularly yourself, if you celebrate with friends and family, or if you want to go to the festive fun, if you want to have a part of that. And I know that for years in my business, I never got to enjoy that. So I'm helping them avoid that in the membership. If you want details on that, everything's linked below. But that is it. So we want to step into the Q4 with more intention and less stress. And I don't want anyone feeling panicked and overwhelmed and having all that anxiety in December about, things going to plan because there's so many clients on the books and you've overbooked yourself and things like that. So what I want to talk about is resetting in September. So the first thing that you should do really is actually review things. It's before you step into anything, it's like, well, what has been going well? Where am I at? What has been working for me? What hasn't been working for me? And identifying what that is in your business, and then validating that for starters, because actually, again, celebrate how far you've come when you think, where am I at? And think about the things that you've done that have worked and celebrate those small wins or big wins, and relook at the things that didn't work and think, right, okay, we can tweak, or we can remove, or we can, keep going. And then, because it's September and shifting has happened and energy is all crazy, what I really think is important is for you to reframe your mindset again. So look at your energy. Where is your energy going? Where have you been spending most of your time? Where is your mindset? How are you actually feeling inside your brain? What is your you'll find clues, like how does your body feel, what sort of thoughts are you having internally, because those things will give you clues and hints as to how your subconscious is currently feeling and doing, because that's what runs the show. So if your subconscious is actually really like feeling, well, it's not pushing you in the right direction, it's probably because we need to do some more repetitive mindset work and tap into some more emotional recharging to be able to move forward, because it's super important that we're in the right place, because it's no good just sort of like telling ourselves we're going to get there, we're going to make this goal, we're going to make this goal, this is the goal, this is the affirmation to support it, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. But if your subconscious is telling you otherwise, you're not going to actually get to where you need to be, because that's what influences your inspired action, and that's what influences your, the way you actually are going to show up. So it's a case of reclaiming that energy and thinking about it and being honest with yourself. How am I feeling? How would I prefer to feel? Where is this coming from? Is there anything holding me back? Why is it holding me back? Is that story true? And trying to maybe you need a new mindset practice for this new period of the year. Maybe it's that this quarter we wake up every morning and we do a specific meditation / visualization on the quarter and how we want to finish the year. Maybe we do that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do journaling. Whatever it is that sort of suits your mindset practice. But maybe you should do that for this part of the year. And moves me on really nicely to the third point of this. It's like my 4-part framework for this episode, if you like. It's raising your standards in your business and in your life. And this is all about, raising the standards when it comes to your boundaries, when it comes to even your pricing. Do you need to increase prices this quarter? You might want to look at prices, especially because in December you might be super, super busy. So it's a really good time to make sure that you are not resentful for being that busy, because the last thing you want is to be working and seeing like 10,000 clients in the month and still feeling like you're not earned enough money. So maybe it's a time where you raise those prices just in time for that busy period. Maybe it's a time where you raise the bar a little bit in how you show up in the room, in your salon or in your clinic or in your wellness space, whatever it is. Maybe you raise some standards somehow to make yourself feel like, yes, like we're doing this and it matches the next goal. maybe it's that your habits take a rise in standards. So not just the mindset habits, but maybe it's like you actually physically need to change things in your habits when it comes to yourself, your gym, your eating, your sleeping, your reading, your whatever, like you're playing with the kids, you're going out more, you're getting more fresh air, those type of habits. Maybe you need to build in some habits for anything, right? What do you enjoy? And maybe it's that you need to raise your standards in your marketing. Maybe it's that you need to raise your standards in showing up online to actually market your business and get more visibility and more eyes on your business. Maybe it's that. And so the first thing was reviewing where you're at. Let's have a quick recap before we finish off the fourth. So the first thing was reviewing where you're at. The second thing was reclaiming like the energy and the mindset stuff. So maybe incorporating like some new mindset work for this specific time of year. The third thing was what I just mentioned, the raising of your standards. Maybe your prices need to go up, maybe your habits need to change, your visibility, things like that. And the last thing that I really think is super important during this September reset time is anchoring in what your end of year does really look like for you and making it tangible enough that you can create small, simple steps. Sorry, I have no idea. I think I've got a message and I didn't mute my notifications on my PC while we record. I think actually being able to reverse engineer your end of year. Okay, so looking at it and going, what can I actually do? And actually seriously setting the goals and actually thinking about the proper steps, breaking it down into small, simple steps that you can do day to day, week to week, month to month, throughout this quarter to get you to that end goal for the end of the year. So, and remember, like when you set these Q4 goals, maybe it's that you do it where you say you want to serve an X amount of clients, or you want to earn a set amount of money. Say you wanted a 5k month in December and you wanted to reverse engineer that and turn it into some goals. Remember that those goals need to be specific. So take that goal and break it down. Okay, what does it look like monthly? What does it look like per hour? What does it look like on average I would need to do? What does it look like I need client-wise? How many clients? Depending on your business will depend on how many clients you can see every day, every week, every month. And so really break that down and make it smart, make it specific, make it measurable. So have somewhere that you can actually track. So if you haven't got like a booking system or somewhere where you can track all of these figures, create something. Make sure that this goal is super measurable, because what we track grows as well. So not only is it helping you get towards the goal, it's also making the goal more motivational for you as well, but actually practically will move it towards it too. Make it achievable. Don't make it feel ridiculous. Make it feel stretchy but achievable. Make it relevant as well, of course, to what you do. So don't go making some sort of goal up that is completely like irrelevant to everything that you do currently offer and how you spend your time, because that's going to be even more difficult for you. And make it time bound. So obviously in this case we're talking about the end of the year, so that would be smart anyway. It would have the T in smart, time bound, because it is for the end of the year. So that type of thing, when you actually reset and have a rough idea of, well, this is where I was, this is where my energy was going, this is where my mindset was, but actually now I'm resetting and I'm raising the standards and I'm setting the new goals. When you can do that, like your whole internal, you should feel a whole internal shift happen, and you should be able to feel it emotionally. And this is the key thing here. If you've got a pen and paper, write this down. Like when you go through those 4 steps, when you do your September reset, I want you to feel it. I don't just want you to write it down and think it and say it out loud, and I don't want that. I want you to feel it, because if you know anything about getting what you want and the law of attraction and the vibrational states of us that actually give us what we want and allow things to open up to us, you will know that energy is everything and emotion is everything. You're not going to get to where you want to be because you won't show up as who you're meant to be if you don't feel it. So you need to write down these goals and do these things with emotion attached. So don't half-ass it. Don't do it don't do it just while listening to this podcast and think, oh, that was really good. And then it goes on the back burner and we forget about it by the time we get to the end of October. Do it properly and actually tap into an idea in your mind of what it really looks like, not just for you, but for your business, for your clients, for your family, for the world around you, for women, for everything. I've been going through this so much today, actually, and with clients in the last week about being who you need to be. And I'll do another episode again on things like this, but about being who you need to be to hold the level of version of you or to hold the level of business that you really want to step into next. Because what you've done up until now has gotten you to where you need to be now. What you've done has gotten you to today, but it'll keep you in now. It'll keep you in the here and now. You need to do something new to get you to where you want to be. You want to do something different to get to that next level. So it's about how you show up. And to change how you show up, you have to actually feel into these things and have energy around them. It is not just about writing them down. So I can tell you as well, like I've been there. Oh, Siri just got involved. I can tell you as well, I've been there where I've kind of coasted and I've had this Q4 where, especially in my beauty business, back in the day I would have these Decembers where I was completely burned out, completely resentful and burned out because I had just worked. I put like the external validation at the top of my priorities, i.e. the money and just serving as many clients as possible. That is external validation, it's not internal. And I coasted and I got on with it and it was still good at the time, don't get me wrong. Whatever you're doing, you're in the right place at the right time, let's put it that way. But things can lead to burnout and then we learn from that and then we grow again. But if you're in a position where you know you don't want that and you're listening to this at the right time, hopefully, you won't burn out if you do it this way. And you can actually reap the rewards of having spaciousness, which is what I was talking about at the beginning of this episode. Having spaciousness in your December and your Q4 overall and in your life overall, and you can reap the rewards of still having a really amazing business and earning as much as you want to earn and seeing the clients that you love while still living a life that you really enjoy, because there are too many business owners out there that are unhappy. And that's why we do these things. This is why we do these September resets. This is why we create the offers that we create, i.e. my membership or one-to-one coaching that I help people with, because we need this. So I think with the fact that you have got some work to do, I'll probably leave it there. I'll probably see you on the next one. But what I would say is actually journal around it first, maybe. Like, as I said, you've got to review anyway where you were at. But I do think, I'll leave you on this, ask yourself before you get into all of this, rather than like just sitting down with the milestone goals and the monetary goals, I really want to leave you with this. Write down, how do I want this month to feel, or how do I want this quarter to feel, or how do I want December to feel, and then move on to what have I got to shift in order to make that happen, because that is how you're going to do what I've been banging on about, which is feeling into it. So I really, really hope that helps. If you love this episode, please do take a screenshot, pop it on your stories and tag me. I'm at Zara King. The details of my socials are all in the descriptions. If you've got anything else that you want to see on or hear on one of the podcast episodes, please do use the feature at the top of the description that says send us a text. Send me a text, let me know what you want to hear, let me know if this resonates with you, and I will respond to that on the next episode, or whenever I get round to doing it on an episode, and I will respond to those texts. And if you can support the pod, there is a option for you to do that now at the end of the description as well, and I would love you forever if you can do that. It allows me to keep showing up and keep bringing you really great expert guests, and to keep this podcast thriving and into the eyes and ears of the right people. So thank you so much for joining me and listening today, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights that will help you in your beauty business and life. If you did, please take a screenshot and tag me in your stories. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me on any of my socials. The links are always in the descriptions. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you more and more great content. Until next time, keep building that business.